when did things get spicy for you at a young age? Because we know that you've seen a lot of things and you wasn't around for a lot of things, but when was the first serious incident that happened in your life where you witnessed something where you was around? Whether we know
Spicy
about
how?
it,
What you mean by spicy? Like that, like drama? You mean
whatever.
like spicy, like
Spicy. Well, spicy is the wrong terminology. You're right, because spicy is more like pause-ish. It's not like I think about spicy. It sounded female-ish. When was the first thing that, like, a first big impact on your life? Like, you've been around for a lot of stuff. You've been around in quad when the situation happened with Pac, because that led to something you being there. Rest in peace, Big. You was in the car for that. I'm talking about what incident was the first where you was like being in. I want to use the right term, man, instead of saying, because I don't want niggas like, yo, flip you. Being in some shit, man.
I get what you're saying. Like,
Thank
what
you,
was, like,
please.
the first
That's gonna
reality,
help me, man.
The first like reality situation where you felt like, all right, we in the mix of some shit.
Yes, please. Thank you.
I mean, if you speak on it in that term, I would probably say probably the Pac situation. You know, for me, the quad thing. I mean, just from that situation, he spoke my name in that, and that was just like a real situation, like, you know. And that was our first Junior Mafia session, so that's why I probably would say that, because when that situation happened, that was our first Junior Mafia session when we first got signed our record deal. First session. You know, this is our first like enjoyment, just like that's a Junior Mafia. Big was already signed. Big was already good. This is like a Junior Mafia session. We just got signed. We just got our advance money, our situation. This is something like totally different. You know what I mean? Like, and in the mix of us trying to have that moment of celebrating, you know what I'm saying, and like enjoying our moment, that situation happened at that time. So I probably would say that, like, you know, like my first like real reality check or some shit. Like, we've been through other shit before that, but that was like the first like, oh shit, like what the going on? Like, that was my introduction to like, you want a record deal? You want to get signed? You want to be in the world? Here you go. This is your first session. We was recording Players Anthem that day too. Like, you know, our very first record, and all that happened that night. That shit. So I would feel like probably that was like the shit, like your introduction to like, all right, welcome to the industry type of shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was something different.
Yeah. Now before that, how long did you know Pac before that? Because I know you said you saw him out the balcony in the studio. You called him. You basically told him to come around. You know, everyone know the story probably and seen the movie and everything.
Yeah, I told this
you know
story 100 times.
You
never
did.
changed.
How long did you know Pac before that though?
Probably like you know, a few months. Yeah, it's like from him dealing with B.I. I didn't know him like
Right.
I knew him personally as a friend. You know what I'm saying? Like my only relationship with him was from through Big. You know what I'm saying? So he was dealing with Big since Party and Bullshit. So just being around him was through Big. Whenever they did functions together, whenever he'd come out and rock with Big, whenever he came out and did shows with Big, I would just have that interaction with him type of shit. Like, it wasn't no like me and that man like had a separate situation. He ain't know me unless he knew me through B.I. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, wasn't no situation like that. You know what I mean? But he knew me just from being part of Big entourage type of thing. So I knew him as long as Big knew him, just dealing with music type of shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Do you remember how they met?
They met in L.A. I wasn't there for that. Like,
You wasn't there for that.
He heard, Pac heard Party and Bullshit one day, and he was just like, he was just really like just going crazy off that record. He wanted to meet B.I. through that shit. Anybody will tell you that. He heard Party and Bullshit. He was like, yo, who is that sang this record? I want to meet that nigga. And him and Big met one time. That's when he flew Big and got it with, like, found out about Big and got Big all the way to Cali. And that's how him and Big got cool from there. He was just a fan of B.I. B.I. was a fan of him too, though. You know what I'm saying? B.I. wasn't no nigga like that. B.I. fuck with that nigga. At that time, too, Pac was that guy. You gotta understand this. Before Big got on, he was that nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, and B.I. embraced that shit. And he found out about Big just through that song. Like, yo, that Party and Bullshit was like his record. And that's how him and Big got cool from there. And he just knew us just on some entourage type of shit. Like, all right, you know, when you pull up with somebody, you pull up with your niggas. And he knew everybody just around us from Big, from us being around them type of shit. You know what I'm saying? That's how that happened.
And real quick, and we all heard the story. We know what happened in Quads. We heard it. The elevator, they tell you to back up. But real quick about this question, do you ever think in your mind, or have you ever thought that you could have done more? Did that ever cross your I should have did this? Like when things was in the thick of it, did you ever feel like I could have done more? I should have did this in retrospect. I mean, take out the whole dissing thing and all that stuff getting crazy. We talking about like when it happened and things are starting to go. Did you ever feel like there's something that you could have did, or you already accepted what happened?
I mean, do more in which way? Like I don't
Anything.
like,
Did you ever think that, or you just accepted for what happened?
as in what though? Like see, I could have done more in which way? Like what? I don't know. Like what you
Like
mean?
when you went, that's the question to you. That's the question to you. Did you accept everything that happened? Because of course, what I'm saying is that when something happened and you there and something, because out of you speaking from the balcony, right?
Yeah.
Him seeing you, out of you coming down and you being in the elevator and they telling you to back up.
No, I don't have no.
Got it. So it
I
just
have no regrets about
respect.
how that shit went down. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, people gotta understand. I told this story a bunch of times.
1,000 times.
We didn't know he was gonna be there, bro. You know what I mean? Like, we didn't know that. That was just coincidence. I saw him. I acknowledged him. You get what I'm saying? So when people are like, yo, I mean, I think everybody already know about how people feel about that. Like, yo, dog, niggas know B.I. ain't have nothing to do with that. Everybody know that. Like, but if B.I. wanted to put itself in there, we should just rob the nigga ourselves, right? Because why would I go out there and let you know I'm there? I might as well just do it myself. Like, what? Or maybe I'm just that flamboyant and just like throw it in your face. Like, no, we didn't know what was going on. He was already coming to that studio to record with somebody else, right? I happened to see him. And I acknowledged him. And then went in the room and told Big, yo, Big, your boy downstairs, he told me to go get him. And I went downstairs and got him. And when I went downstairs, that's what I saw. And I went downstairs, I got backed up into that elevator. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, why? You think we just sit here, we just plan this whole shit out like this, like, yo, I'm gonna come downstairs and you back me in the elevator. No, dog, no. It was real genuine. Yo, Big, Pac downstairs. Yo, word, yo, go get him. You think Big will put me in that mix at 15 years old? You think he'll jeopardize my life and Nino's life like that? Because me and Nino went downstairs. Nah, we didn't know he was coming here. It's just that Big been dealing with him, and I just happened to see him, and I know how Big deal with him, and I know how we deal with him. Like, nigga, that's Pac. Nigga, yo, what up? And yo, come around the corner. I'm about to come get you downstairs. Yo, Big, Pac downstairs. Yo, he is? Yeah, go get him. I went downstairs. That's what happened. I went back upstairs. Yo, Big, shit going down there. He thinking I'm lying. I'm like, nah, bro. And you know what Big said? Y'all little niggas stay up here. I'll be right back. He went downstairs and then come back up for like 20 minutes. Now we upstairs like sitting up here right now. Like, that's like me telling Flip to go downstairs and Flip don't come back up for 30 minutes. Interview over, nigga. I gotta go downstairs see what's up with my boy. And we went downstairs and that's how we knew what happened. You get what I'm saying? Like, come on, dog. So it's nothing. I don't feel like it was something with us to make me think like, could I done anything different? Or do I regret it? No. I wish that shit didn't happen. But that wasn't in my control for me to regret something like I made something to happen or we pushed something to happen. Nah, I wish that situation didn't happen. I wish whatever happened that night didn't turn out that way, but that wasn't our control. It just so happened that, you know what? Maybe it happened for it to be this history, for us to talk about this shit for this many years and for it to be that, that was a God calling or that, we don't know what that was. It wasn't us. I'm saying, like, B.I. didn't have to do that firsthand. I want to make that very clear every time I talk about this. Why would Big line him up and he had a promising career? Big was already on at this point. You get what I'm saying? He was already popping. He already got us a record deal at this time. We had a Junior Mafia session. He already had a record deal. One More Chance, Big Papa, Juicy, Can't You See, Only You. He's rocking. Why would I line my man up? That helped me. Gave me knowledge, schooled me, with me, embraced me, jumped on records with me. That wasn't who B.I. was. it's no other way I could keep telling this shit. Like, yo, bro, at the end of the day, you can't change people's mind. You can't change people's mind states. Whatever they think is what they think. It is what it is. I'm going to stand on this type of shit for the rest of my fucking life. There's no other way I could explain it. That's what happened. That man was out here seeing other people. He wasn't just dealing with us out here. You know what I'm saying? He was out here mingling. He was shooting movies out here. He was doing stuff out here. B.I. wasn't his only resource out here type of thing. But, like I said, I saw that man. I acknowledged him out of the love for B.I. had for him. And I was a fan as a kid, like hanging out with him. And no, I saw him downstairs and not knowing he was coming there, but I still went downstairs and thought I was just doing a good deed. Like, yo, B.I., Pac downstairs, yo, go get him. We ain't know that he was already coming there. That's what people don't know. And that's what people got to do their research on. Stop worrying about the B.I. shit with that shit, but that's not what it's about. And B.I. loved that man. We all with him and loved him too, just as well as, like, you know what I mean? He loved B.I. A lot of people don't know that. It was just so much negative shit with that shit. Everybody just tend to, you know, put all the negative shit and bullshit into that shit. It wasn't really like that. Them niggas really with each other on some real shit.
Yeah.
And that's what it's about.
We can move on with that now. I know you spoke about that.
No, hold on.
You keep going?
I don't want to move on yet. Man, I want to tell you why. Obviously, not obvious, but you told a story before, so I don't want to talk about that. I wanted to get into the mind of how you thought. Because if you didn't acknowledge him, if you didn't go downstairs and he would have saw you, do you think that maybe he wouldn't have said that them niggas had something to do with it? Because obviously we already know the story. Anybody that know the story know where that came from. It had nothing to do with Big, y'all. But do you think that, like, damn, like, when you think about it, man, I should have, you was just hailing him. Of course you was doing the positive thing. That's why I asked you how you thought about it. I should have never went downstairs, got him. I should have never said anything to him when I saw him. I should have waited. Did that ever cross your mind, or you just was fine? I know it's not your fault, but people think like that.
Nah.
When you sit with yourself, people, who knows?
Why would I think? No, I didn't think I was. No, that's B.I. That's fam.
That's fam.
That's fam to us, bro. Like, no. If I see him, so you mean to tell me if I saw you downstairs, Flip, you was coming in here, right? And just so happened when you came down here, you ran into something down there. You think I regret that? I didn't know. I was coming downstairs to, that's my man.
Say no more.
And I see him, and I'm here. Yo, what you doing? Come around here, not knowing you coming here. I'm just thinking I'm seeing you. Yo, Flip, what you doing? Yo, come upstairs, my nigga. I'm gonna come downstairs and get you. Not knowing you was like, yo, nigga, I'm coming there anyway. I'm gonna be on the 6th floor. I didn't know you was coming there. But me just acknowledging you because you fuck with my boy.
So the next question is, do you think that it was easier, because where it came from, it was easier to blame Big? It was an easier way to blame Big instead of going the other route of where it came from.
Of course.
So that was
Cause sometimes you don't want to address what's really at bay. And Big was just the bait. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I get that. You know, street politics or just the way you want to call it from that, it's all good. You know what I mean? But that don't take away my love for him. You know what I mean? Like, nah.
It was the best way to respond from getting robbed, even though he knew where it came from. Because we, you know, rest in peace, Stretch. You know what I'm saying?
And we're gonna leave it at that. We're not gonna do. We don't do that. We don't discuss. Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
He knew. Everybody knew what it was, and it wasn't B.I. It wasn't us.
We know that.
And that's just how, you know what I mean? You get what I'm saying?
Like that.
And we leave it on that note.
I respect that. Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
Got it.
And that's it. That's how everybody live peacefully. That's how everybody rest peacefully, and we be cool. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, I don't hold no grudges, no nothing, because I know where we came from. It was genuine love, it was genuine respect, and I know how Big genuinely felt about that man.
I just feel
and everybody know
it's
that.
It's like picking, man. Like, I'm a chill. It's like picking. All right, rest in peace.
Nah, talk, my nigga. You going?
Nah, because it's like
that's a very. It's so sensitive, but you got to be like that with that situation, because that's a real life thing.
It is. It is.
Sometimes real life situations ain't worth this.
I agree.
On some real shit, it's not worth talking it. It's not. Nah, it's not. It's not what we do. If you come from a place where I come from, this ain't how it works all the time. So I can't jeopardize and do certain shit. I'm not gonna do it for this. No matter if you my man, I love y'all and all that, but some situations just don't cause for this.
I agree.
You get what I'm saying? Because you have to come from a real standpoint from where I come from.
Respect.
Cause when you really in tune with just real people, normal people, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's certain things that you just don't allow. Cause outside this camera shit, I still gotta walk the streets. I still gotta go see my moms that live in that neighborhood. Still gotta go see my sisters that live in that neighborhood. I still gotta go check on my nephews that go to them schools in them neighborhoods and all that. So you gotta be very like, cause you don't know everybody's mind state, where they stand and who they are and how they think, and everybody takes shit so personal today. Sometimes you gotta just sit back and just like, everything ain't for everybody either. You know what I'm saying? Nah, everybody know what it is with that situation. That's how we supposed to keep it. I'm not gonna disrespect that man, no matter what.
Right.
I'm not, cause I got good history with him, as well as I had bad history with him. But I'm gonna embrace the good shit, and we was young. You gotta think about it, dog. Pac was 25? Big was 24. Dog, I outlived them niggas 20 years. So it's a different ball game now, how you see it. We was just young niggas, not knowing no better. And it was just a different scenery, different situation, dog. You can't call that. So asking me that shit, it's like, asking me now, it's like, I can't explain it the way I want to explain it because we just can't.
It's a lot. It's a lot. I get it.
You get what I'm saying?
I do.
You just can't tell. You gotta leave certain things to be. But at the end of the day, all I ever want to clear is that B.I. was not no grimy nigga.
Right.
Wasn't no shiesty nigga like that. Nah, B.I. was a stand-up nigga. He would never do nothing like that to none of his niggas. Nobody. Outside of his immediate niggas, not even a rap friend. And just like, nah, he wasn't like that, my dude. And I felt like that kind of put an edge on my boy's name to make him look like, damn, like, nah, Brooklyn niggas ain't like that. We grimy, but we ain't, nah, nigga. He was official when it came to that. Like, you know what I'm saying? He wouldn't do nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? And that's all I ever wanted to clear up about that whole situation. But I'm not going to put people in situations, you know what I mean? Like, everybody know what it is. If you from the streets and you from the hood, you know what it is, and that's how we keep it from there. That's how I go.